What do you make of that then? A frustrating night, I suppose.
Yes, first of all, Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you had a good time. Yes, of course. Each and every loss is frustrating, and you're down after game and disappointed. And yeah, of course, if after a massive run with 5 wins in a row, you have then to return back home after a away game with this loss. Of course, you're disappointed.
What did you make of the goal? The ball was sort of lost quite high on the pitch on the right, making just seem to sort of lose the flight of it as it came in.
Well, in general, we know before it would have been a difficult away game. Yeah, there's no doubt about this. Watford has spent several years in a row on Premier League level. They were not happy to be on position 5. Yeah, this club wants to finish in the top 2 position. That was the reason they changed the coach. And then the first game, anyhow, was fresh energy. Was then clear. It was a difficult game for us, no doubt about this. In general, a game when you as a away team are able to dominate the game, 65% possession to 35, 16 shots to 7. It's not a game where you would expect them to lose a game, but we lost this game. And in general, I think we were dominating this game, and Watford was concentrating on being absolutely solid, on shifting, on defending their own goal, and of course with their quality and with their pace up front to concentrate on counter-attacks. And in general, we created most of them, but our problem today was we lacked a bit of intensity and sharpness in our final third, so we're not willing to invest enough in runnings in behind in order to create more chances and to score goals. And these are the ways and the movements that sometimes hurt during a game, but you have to be willing to invest in this runnings in behind in order to hurt the opponent, to create more chances and then to score. So I think we lacked a bit of this intensity and sharpness in the final third. And in football, all topics belong together. When you're lacking a bit intensity in your offensive game, and sometimes you're also lacking a bit of awareness level in terms of defending, and we conceded then out of a situation a goal. We never should concede, because it was more like a simple crossing situation. We didn't have enough pressure on the ball. It was and also a bit unlucky. I think the cross was slightly deflected or something like this. But in general, we weren't overloading our own box and lacked then a bit of awareness level to defend the second post, and for that they had an easy tap in. And once you're back, then it's such a difficult away game, and the team first game on new manager on the other side, Watford feels okay, we are pretty close to be there with a massive win in the second half. They have so much experience up front. Just Premier League players, Troydini, Gray, Sam, anyhow, lots of quality. And if this team then lurks for counter-attacks, it's always difficult. You have to be switched on. We created several situations, but didn't show enough quality up front today in order to use one. So I think we played a bit too complicated sometimes up front when we could have used the situations. And it's always the same. If you then are not able to score at least one goal, then you have to return back with the loss. And for that, we accept this also today. You'd have to accept this.
What did you make of the penalty decision on the replay? It actually looks like it might have been a good tackle.
So I don't want to blame anyone else. So it's more like pitch was really good, so nothing to blame. With also normal week anyhow, so to prepare, so nothing to blame. The hard schedule, also not the referee or something. Of course, there were a few situations. But I think there could also be some other decisions. But in this moment, I never point with a finger on anyone else. So I think we lacked today a bit intensity and sharpness in our final third, and this was a little bit the reason for the loss, and not anything else.
You went with that triple change. I mean, I think today is the first time you've been able to play Wendy, Dowell and Cantwell together, isn't it? So you think that might just take a little bit of time for them to knit together to get their rhythm, or was it just that tonight they were up against a good opponent?
Many topics. There's not one reason. Of course, it's difficult for offense against experience and really good side Watford to create more chances, and especially when the side is elite and concentrates a lot on sitting deep. So home game with 35% possession anyhow. So we didn't have this for such a long time on Curry Road. So if we would be there like this, I think there would be some questions, but no accusation. So they won the game, and just important to win the game. But it says a lot about how difficult it is then to create chances against this side who is so much concentrated on defending. In general, we have several offensive players injured at the moment, and more or less all our pacey ones. So we have Shumislav Pacheta who's running in behind, we have Unhendes who's running in behind, we have Adam Ida who's running in behind, Markus Tiepermann, not the paciest one, but also with a great will to be there, was running in behind. So if we play in this setup, many technical players behind Timo Pukki, of course it can work, but then we have to be there with more runnings and behind even these players. Yeah, Amy Bourdieu has a good feeling for this and has scored goals out of this, but we need this out of all positions. And I think this was one of the reasons why we didn't create enough out of our dominant performance, and we're not at our best today.
Just lastly from me for the second, Tim Krul, just to take a little step away from the game, signed this new deal on Christmas Day. I know this defeat feels very raw at the moment, but that was big news for the club, wasn't it? Getting Tim Krul committed to a nice long-term deal.
Yes, definitely. On the bigger picture, it's great news for us. And such a player with good chances to be number one for the Netherlands in a big tournament, and commits his future to Norwich City. Says a lot about us, like how far we've come over the last past years, and he's absolutely happy. And I think also for him, definitely a good choice for both parties. And of course, we are absolutely happy that we have a player of his quality, without any doubt, the best goalkeeper in the league. Also injured today, by the way, not available anyhow, but of course, to have such a personality and such a quality player also for the next years at Vicarage Road, it's great news, and I think fantastic for us.